Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. A lot of you have been asking for me to do a tutorial or review of the Lily and Fox nail wraps. Mostly my channel is about Korean skincare and some hair care, K-beauty, that kind of thing, but I also really enjoy making nail videos and tutorials. So I have a whole playlist set up, you can check that out. Different brands, press-ons, stickers, the ones that you have to cure, the ones that you don't have to cure, how to remove them properly, all kinds of things. And so many times after I post a video about nails and ask people, what should I try next? Lily and Fox would come up. This is not a sponsored video, and this is not a gifted product. I bought them with my own money. The wraps are pretty reasonably priced. If I remember correctly, they were around $3 each. I will put links in the description box for everything I'm talking about so you can check it out for yourself. They came in a plain big white envelope with this inside. It's super cute. Has a little origami fox, some little nail care tools, and then they put a note in here thanking me for my order, spelling my full name correctly, good job. And they also included a free set in here for me to practice on. I very much appreciate that. However, the preset that they included is hot pink, which is definitely not my color, but I will find somebody to pass it on to. And then these are the ones that I picked and bought. There's the Solar Storm. I know it's a little bit hard to see with the reflection, just bear with me here. Solar Storm, then these ones, I can't remember what they're called, but it's like a gradient glitter. And then these red/orange solid color ones. I think I'll try these solar ones today because my nails are kind of a wreck. You can probably already tell they're super dry, and my nails are dry in general, but also I've had some pretty unfortunate experiences with the glue-on nails in the last couple of months, and it takes the nails a little bit of time to grow out. I did remove whatever glue I could with a combination of remover and also a buffer, but still my nails are not the smoothest and the best that they've ever been or anything like that. I'm going to put the pattern on so that if there are any ridges showing through, they're not as obvious as with a solid. And my hope is that these nail stickers last me a good amount of time, a few weeks, well, a couple of weeks, at least 10 days maybe, to let my nails underneath grow out a little bit, recover, and I'm going to take these off after that and just cut off whatever nail grew. They're really short right now, but they're definitely, I would say, struggling enough that it's time to let some of that damage grow out and just cut it off. I say it in every video. I will remind you one more time that prep is the most important part of the application process. Prep can make or break you. A lot of the times the brands will have a very simplistic instructions on how to apply their stickers, and I think it's done in an attempt to make it sound like it is a super easy process. Even some official brand videos, I'm not just talking about Lily and Fox here, but a lot of the other brands, they make it look like just degrease your nails, peel and stick, smooth, you're done. But even I can see in those videos that a lot of the times the size isn't right, and it looks like the sticker or the press-on overlaps the cuticle, all kinds of things. So it's very important to do the proper prep, and if it adds a couple of minutes to your install, to your application process, in my opinion, it's worth it to get a good, long-lasting, good-looking manicure. I always start with pushing back my cuticles. I like to use a metal cuticle pusher. A lot of brands will give you a wooden one, but I prefer a metal one. They're not very expensive at all, obviously last forever. So if you're going to do your nails regularly, I would say it's worth purchasing one of these. If you have super long nails that are so long that it makes it hard to apply the stickers, you can definitely trim your nails beforehand. I do not. As you can see, my nails are very short, and I like to leave a little bit of extra length, even if my nails are on the longer side, to allow for trimming with the sticker together. These feel pretty thin, not in a bad way, not flimsy, but I think it was the right decision to pick a pattern versus a solid because I don't know that these would hide any ridges because they're not very thick. Lily and Fox did say that these have a clear coating on them that needs to be peeled off, and that it's kind of hard to notice if you don't know that it's there. I read their application instructions on their website. Okay, there it is right there. I am glad they mentioned it because yes, it's definitely not so easy to spot. is completely clear, and it feels like we're going to have to be removing it individually for each sticker. I'm going to go ahead and check the sizes a little bit. This is a bit of a debate here I'm having now. Do I degrease my nails now? Usually I would get my sizes all picked out and then degrease my nails. But with these, because they're all attached and I have to individually remove the films from them, I think I'm just going to degrease the nail now so I don't forget. I use just regular alcohol prep pads. I get these from Costco. You can get a couple of boxes fairly inexpensively. You can also use a cotton ball, maybe soaked in nail polish remover. I don't like that idea because there's lint on the cotton pad. You could get lint-free things, but these pre-soaked ones are just the easiest for me, and we use them for other things anyway, so we usually have some on hand. On hand. See what I did there? Okay. Now that that's done, and you could use a prep brush-on product, but usually those are also just rubbing alcohol in a bottle. It's whatever you prefer. I prefer the pads because I have buffed my nails just a little bit. I don't usually, but I really had some glue and all these kinds of things on them. And when I buff or push the cuticles or file nails or do anything that creates a little bit of nail dust, I want to physically rub it off with something like a wipe and not just paint over it with a prep base coat. Picking a size of a brand new nail brand is always a little bit tricky because I'm not exactly sure how it's going to lie. Unfortunately, these are not numbered, but I think that's probably okay since every single set of the Lillian Fox nail wraps will have the same order of stickers. So if you know that you're using the second biggest one this time, that's probably the one you will be using the next time. Slightly too small is better than slightly too big. You don't want anything overlapping. I don't love that it curled when I removed it because now it's going to make it hard to position. See how curled it is? These are very thin. But let's see, I'm going to try and position it as close to the cuticle as possible without going over the cuticle itself. And they do say in their application instructions online that there's some amazing technology with these that does allow you to stick them down and then peel them off and reposition them. Maybe you could even correct a mistake if you make one. However, from personal experience with all the nail brands, it's better just to stick them on the first time because when you pull it off, they do pick up some pieces of whatever with them and they just never stick quite as well. I don't know why my camera is having a very difficult time focusing on this particular pattern. I don't know if it's because it's a darker pattern or what, but it has a hard time staying in focus. So put it down right by the cuticle without overlapping. And then I'm using this rubber cuticle pusher. Again, much prefer just to buy a couple of these versus use the orange sticks that some brands include. I prefer to have my own. These are not expensive. Usually you can get a ton of them on Amazon for just a few bucks. I'll put a link in the description. I'm pushing it down. I find that this works so much better as far as getting out bubbles and even just ensuring that your stickers last as long as they can, looking good without buckling, versus using just hands or an orange stick. The stickers do feel really nice and solid in a sense that I am not afraid to push down on them. They are not denting. Even when I take my nail hair and kind of really dig into it, it only dents a little bit. With some brands, especially the ones that are soft and need to be cured under a lamp at the end, you have to be careful pushing down with the cuticle pusher or these rubber ones because you don't want to dent it. I am pretty happy with this. Could have probably done a slightly better job here on the left. This is where a metal cuticle pusher comes in handy sometimes. You can put it down and push a little bit more. Just be careful. Don't traumatize your cuticle. And you probably noticed I haven't trimmed mine. I never do. I push them back and that works for me. But especially if you're the kind to trim your cuticle first and you maybe have a little bit of trauma or anything just exposed flesh there, just be careful, okay? Don't traumatize yourself. It's not worth a good manicure to bruise or damage your cuticle. Let's do one more together. I do like that you always can grab on the silver tab here, both to peel off the clear part, which I already did, and to take off the sticker itself. It's really nice. It gives you something to hold on to. Again, this one curled too. I don't love that. I don't know if I have to peel it down more in a flat way versus pulling it up. Maybe that will help. But I don't love that they curl. It really does make it a lot harder to position than if they were completely straight. But still, doing my best, dropping it down close to the cuticle, but without going over. And I always drop down very gently at first to make sure that it's lined up. At this point, because I only have one little piece of contact here, if I had to peel it off and reposition, I think I probably could, but hopefully I won't need to. And then I'm going to take my rubber cuticle pusher and just smush it down, kind of combination of finger and cuticle pusher. This one went on really nice. I really like that. And I love the golden sun. I will finish the nails off camera. It is incredibly challenging to be applying nails while having a camera here between me and my hand, trying to make sure things are in focus. Usually I apply the whole hand of stickers first and then trim them, but for the purposes of this demonstration, let's do them now. I prefer using manicure scissors like these. I've had mine since I was 7 years old and I'm 33. These definitely are lasting. You can use clippers. I prefer scissors because they're more precise. I'm going to just go over here and trim the sticker. Because my nail is so short, I'm not really trimming the nail. If my nail was longer than my ideal length, I would trim the nail with the sticker together. That way they're perfectly flush and smooth with each other. But this actually is pretty good and feels nice and smooth and flush. And I'm going to do the same thing here. With this pinky, I am cutting off a bit of a nail, not a ton, but you do want to give yourself a little bit of room. You can see the nail right there on the sticker. You do want to give yourself a bit of wiggle room with your nail length to be able to trim something off, and that's why I strongly recommend not cutting your nails right before you do a manicure like this. What the brand actually recommends doing is filing off the excess instead of cutting it, but because I don't have that much extra nail length, I decided to go with cutting because that takes off less nail length. If you were to file it, you would leave the sticker how it was, all whole and long, and then you would turn your finger and position a nail file like this and file, and then that wrap would fall off. I have a little bit of an imperfection right here where I can see a little bit of a nail sticking out, but there's no sticker covering it. So I'm going to just fix that a little bit with a nail file, filing in one direction. And now it is perfectly smooth there. This nail actually doesn't look too bad. I do have one little edge right there where it doesn't look quite right. Doesn't look like it's totally flush with the nail. Another thing you can do if you habitually keep your nails very short, this length that I have in the video, is get yourself a glass file. Those are very precise and they take off just a little bit. And if you position a glass file at an angle like this and just go very gently over the edge, it can help make the sticker and the nail the same length, or even the sticker just a tad shorter than your natural nail, and that will help it last a very long time. I finished the application process off camera. It was pretty simple, exactly what I showed you before. A couple of notes I have: I wish they had more sizes or more of the same size. For example, this size here would work for more than one nail for me, for sure, but there's only one for each hand. Every sticker here is a slightly different size. There are no duplicate sizes. And what happened was, on this hand, I picked my perfect sizes, let's say, and if I wanted to do the other hand exactly the same way with the sun on the ring finger and this planet on the index finger, I could have done that, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit, and so I had to kind of swap the sizes around, and this one does not fit my index finger as well. I still made it work, but I really enjoy sets like Dashing Diva Gloss, for example, where they have multiple designs in the same size, or just more than 2 wraps in the same size for people like me, because I think realistically most of us don't have 10 totally differently sized nails or 5 totally differently sized nails. Some of them might be very close to each other, but for the price, that's a pretty small complaint. And then another thing is, while the tab here to pull them off is nice and convenient to have, It also limits your options on how you're going to place the sticker. For example, if I wanted to use this size for my thumb, but I did not want the planet on both thumbs, maybe I wanted this edge, this side down on one hand, and maybe this side on the other hand. I can't easily do that. I would have to take my scissors and trim this and shape it. All of the other nail stickers that I have tried, more or less, you could kind of swap the way that you applied them. Some of them you can't. Some of them are tapered to the cuticle side on purpose. Some of the ones that are gel, for example, like a Hora, the ones that you have to cure. But a lot of them you can kind of turn how you want. But overall, for the price, really not bad at all. We'll see how they last. These are definitely a lot thinner than any other nail sticker that I've tried. If you have very ridged nails with a lot of texture to them and that bothers you, and you don't want that shown, you're probably better off getting a slightly thicker wrap. But I'm going to also show you one thing here at the end that might help with that. You are technically done at this point. You could just stop and you could go on with your life. This is the process. Apply them, smush them down, trim the excess, file if you need, done. But with all of my nail stickers, I add an optional step of a top coat, and not just any top coat. I like the ones that need to be cured under a UV or LED lamp because I feel like those hold the best. And they do a couple of things. First, it seals the free edge for me. So if I'm scratching at something or opening a soda can or something like that, I am not pulling off the sticker. And then another thing that it does is it makes everything look better. It looks more like a finished manicure versus a sticker on top of a nail. And with these specific ones, I think it would also add a little bit of desired thickness to the nail and potentially hide any of the ridges or imperfections you might have, especially if you're using just a solid color without a design. So let's do that. I always use UV protective gloves. People have thoughts about them. If you don't want to use them, that's fine. If you think that's silly, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and continue using it. This has nothing to do with the study that recently came out about the risks of UV lamps and how they affect different cells. You can read that for yourself. I've been using these for years because I don't want any unneeded UV exposure on my hands. I wear driving gloves. I wear either sunscreen or gloves while walking outside to protect the skin because it just ages quite quickly and you can have age spots, all kinds of things from sun exposure. So I don't need any UV. You could do a sunscreen instead, but to me, you want to have your nails and hands dry and free of oils and lotions when you're doing applications like this to make sure that nothing gets in between the sticker and the nail. So I just stick with gloves. I've been using this top coat. It's a one-step and it cures without being sticky. You can get whatever works for you. I like the Gelish brand. Amazon has a lot of different brands with pretty good ratings. I was just helping a coworker recently pick some out. When we picked one, I think it was under $10. And it said a no wipe top coat, meaning that after you're done curing it, it's not going to have that little tacky layer that needs to be wiped off with an alcohol wipe. So get whatever you'd like. I don't know that I could recommend this brand. It's fine. I like it, but I had a really bizarre interaction with the brand itself, so I don't really feel like promoting them. But the product is okay. This step is the same no matter what brand of stickers I use. And I do this even with the ones that need to be cured, but if I'm using the stickers that are curable, or that need to be cured, I cure them first and then do a top coat. I seal in the free edge, so I start by applying my top coat to the edge opposite of the cuticle edge and really make sure that I cover both the nail and the sticker because I want them to be one cohesive unit when I'm done curing. And then I just finish the rest by going over the nail. You want to start by capping the edge versus paint your nail and then cap the edge, because doing that would result in a little bulge right here of your top coat, and you don't want that. With these, granted, because they're so patterned, you probably wouldn't be able to see that very well, but it's a habit now for me to do the free edge first. And it's a little bit extra challenging for me today because of how short my nails are. You really don't want any of your gel to get on the skin. First of all, it's not the best for the skin. Second of all, if you cure your gel and some of it was on the skin, the parts that were on the skin will start peeling off eventually, pretty soon actually, and then they will take with them the rest of the gel. So you'll have peeling and chipping, and we don't want that. Just do this for the whole hand. Then I cure it under a lamp. I prefer my own big lamp versus the little ones that brands will sometimes give out for free. Whatever you have is probably okay, but if you're going to do nails regularly and cure them regularly, I recommend getting a lamp that you can fit your whole hand and thumb at the same time, so you're not stuck curing the forefingers first and then the thumbs after. That's just my preference. I do not have a brand recommendation for you for the lamp. I like the Gelish brand of things myself. I don't have the Gelish lamp, but I think if I were to buy one, I would buy probably that one because they make good quality stuff. Amazon has lots and lots of options of different ones. I'm using the one that I've had since my Jamboree days, which I don't talk about often because I'm not an MLM supporter, but I do have a video about my experience with Jamboree if you want to check that out in my anti-MLM playlist. After they're painted, I just stick them in the lamp. This is the one I have back here, and it fits the entire hand and the thumb. And I just do that for the one cycle, and that's usually enough. These are all done now. You can see how much shinier they are after the top coat. There are some matte gel top coats if that's more your jam, but I prefer the shiny one. They feel a little bit thicker now with the top coat, not a ton. And some people do fancy things like use builder gel, all kinds of stuff on top. I don't. I just have this one top coat that I use all over. But they look really good. I hope they last. They feel like they're pretty good quality. Yes, they're thin. That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes really thick stickers actually tend to peel up at the cuticle more and so on. These feel like they're really nice and solidly on there. I didn't get any buckles. I don't have any wrinkles. It's very, very important to pick the correct size for your nail if you are having a lot of buckling and wrinkling. Sometimes, or more often than not, actually, it's a sizing issue, not so much a brand issue. But we'll see. I have an Instagram highlight called Nails on my Instagram account at KBeautyHobbit. Head over there because I will be posting how these wear on there. I can't always do a video and then the follow-up of how they wear at the same time because it takes some time to film the video, to edit it, to post it, and obviously it takes time to see what the nails will be like. I'm actually going to post this fairly soon after application, this specific video, so I won't know yet how they wear, but I'm happy to update you in the comments. And again, you can check my Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. I put a lot of nail content on there in the stories that does not make it to YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you learned some application tricks, and I hope this helps you make a decision if you are considering Lily and Fox. I do think they're worth a try. I see a lot of positives. There are some drawbacks, but also the price is really nice. So you really won't be losing too much if you end up trying them and they're not for you, but you could potentially find a really good, affordable option for at-home manicures if these do work for you. And if you tried them more than the one time that I'm trying them right now, please let me know how they work for you. If you have any tips or tricks, if the leftovers store well or if they dry out. I don't know that they would. I don't think they would, but some nail brands are like that where the leftovers dry out. So let me know what you think. You can find me on my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, my Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, and my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. As always, I am happy to hear what other nail brands you think I should try, or if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.